Well, it's been raining pretty good here in Georgia again, and probably be raining the rest of the day too, but the sun's out shining pretty bright right now. I've done a couple of Tealight candle holder videos here recently, and I've been getting a lot of comments on from viewers and all about the safety and all, mainly with having a shade and things like that. So I thought I would kind of make a really short video and talk a little bit about how I get my design and things like that, and how I know that this thing is safe. You should always be very careful with candles in your house, okay? Because candles cause a lot of house fires. I know that myself personally, because I see a lot of them. But anyway, let's look at let's start out. We'll just kind of look at the Tealight itself. The Tealight itself it's just a little candle that's encased in a little, I guess, aluminum, or yeah, I'm sure it's aluminum, but a little metal case. You know, sometimes they'll even, they'll come out, but they're just in this little metal case. However, I would suggest you put it in some type of holder. But these things come with the wick cut to a certain length. Okay. Once you pull the wick up out of the wax, it's a certain length, and that makes a small flame. All of this is based on that size flame. Okay. If your wick is longer, or whatever, somehow you get a longer wick, I would cut it off. These are about maybe a 1/4 inch long from the factory. If it's longer than that, snip it off. Okay, let's look at the holders a little bit. This is the last holder that I made. I made it out of a solid piece of wood. It's not hollow or anything in any way, so it has weight, and it's pretty heavy. Okay, when you set it down, it's stable. It doesn't rock or anything like that, so I don't have to worry about it just falling over or rocking over, because as these Tealights burn, the wax builds up, the melted wax gets all in there, and if it rocks, then the wax can pour out. It just causes problems. One thing I do with mine, I think that's just falling off the tree. Anyway, one thing I do with mine, when I make my mortise in the top, I never allow the mortise to be deeper than the metal casing. Okay, you don't want the metal down inside your mortise. Okay, the metal helps contain the heat and things like that, and it basically contains all your waxes and everything. It's just a better idea to have the mortise. I usually do mine about half of the depth. Let me see. I'm just going to try to light this thing right quick and just do a little demonstration for you. When you light a Tealight, first of all, you'll notice it is a very small flame. That flame is probably 1/2 inch tall, But if you bring your fingers into the side of this flame until it gets uncomfortable, right about there. Yeah, that was uncomfortable. But I can get my fingers within about 1/4 inch of that flame before I start feeling enough heat to make me want to pull away. I get 1/2 inch away, I feel virtually no heat. Okay, the air's coming around. Everybody knows a flame needs air to burn, or oxygen. Okay, so anyway, that's to the sides. The only heat, when the heat comes off, it goes up. So there's very little heat around the sides of it. But you will have a lot of heat up top, up here. And up here, I'm getting uncomfortable about 2 1/4, 2 1/2 inches above the flame. Okay, it really starts getting uncomfortable. Just remember that the heat travels upward. Now, when I make the shades, I always make the shades with some piercings. You know, piercings, or I tried a spiral one time, and I think it turned out pretty nice. But anyway, it's the same difference. The piercings allow air to get in. It really makes the light look pretty up on your walls and stuff, you know, if you're burning the candle, whatever. But the piercings allow airflow in from the sides of the candle, and that makes the flame burn very, very steady. Not a whole lot of, you know, flickering back and forth and stuff like that. The hole in the top, this hole right here, is about 1 3/4 inches. Okay, so that is plenty of room for that hot air to get up and out. So I've got a large bulb here that keeps good space around here. I've got about 1.5 inches from the flame to the edges. Okay, the heat travels straight up, so the hottest air will be in the center, coming out. I've burned these things. I burned these candles, and let me see if I can maybe get my drain oriented. Now, when I burn these candles, I give it a try and just see how it burns. Let me see here. And just see how it burns. And after a few minutes, I'll come back and I'll run my hands, my fingers down in here. And I mean, you can get your hands all the way in there. The flame's still burning. It's not, I mean, you can feel the heat on the back side of your finger, but the shade itself is still about room temperature. It's really not heating up. If you don't have piercings and the air has to come in from the top, this whole thing will begin to heat. That could be dangerous. But with piercings down all the way down toward the bottom, I don't worry about it at all. Okay? Heat travels upward. There's very little, with that small flame, you have very little radiant heat on the sides. So that's why I don't worry about that. Okay? Let me see. I actually made me a little outline for this so I wouldn't forget parts. Just remember that when you use any candles, not just Tealights, if you use any candles in your home, you have got to monitor that thing. Set it out away from walls, away from curtains, away from anything that can burn. And it's better if you can set it on something that doesn't burn. And you know, don't ever leave them unattended. You know, you may walk out of the room with a candle burning, you know, and come back like whatever. That's one thing. But leaving the house, you know, with a candle burning, that's bad juju, boys. That's how houses burn down right there. Put it out. Also, make sure you extinguish the flame before the candle actually completely burns out. Just go ahead and put it out, melt your wax and seal the end of your wood or something with it. But it's not really a good idea to let the candles burn until they burn completely out. Anyway, I did this video. I hope you found it informative. Just try to keep it short. I did it to answer some questions and all from viewers and all that were asking me. They had really legitimate concerns about these Tealights that I'm making, and I really thank them for it too. I wish I had thought about it really before I did the videos. I would have put it in on that. But all of your comments, all your questions, any suggestions are welcome on my forum here on YouTube. Send it. I only delete what I consider profane or anything like that. All comments that are written on my page, I leave on there, and I try to answer all of them. So if you've got comments or questions, it helps all of us learn. Feel free to share it with us. I'm glad to hear it and glad to be part of it. And you all have a good day, and be safe with your candles. Always be safe with candles. They're very dangerous. They're very nice, but they're also very dangerous. So have a good day. See you down the road.